What's going on, guys? My name is Sam.
I'm Sadie.
And in today's video, I'm going to be interviewing my wife.
Sorry that we have not recorded in however long. He was sick and now I am sick. We're just getting over some stuff, but we're feeling better, just tired.
We're back in the saddle, kind of, sort of. So without further ado, let's get to the questions. Okay, so this one is from Nicole Walker, 8592, for Sadie. Hi, Sadie. I've been texting this guy that my aunt set me up with. I really like him. He's a pastor and a wonderful man of God. He loves music. One day, out of the blue, he asked me for money to fund one of his, music projects he was doing. I told him I didn't have it and he said that was okay, but he never texted me again. Should I continue to text him? I really like him, but I didn't like him asking me for the money.
No, I would say don't, especially if he stopped talking to you after he asked you for money. That just sounds, that's honestly surprising if he's a pastor, especially like if he was just a random dude, I would not really be surprised, but the fact that he's a pastor and then he goes to you afterwards, after he asks you for money, I feel like that's a really big red flag and a door that's closed, and I would be thankful that door closed.
Yeah.
That's really sketch.
That is very, very bizarre. And what's really interesting is that it sounds like her aunt set her up with him. So I guess that someone thought that he was a cool guy, but it kind of sounds, I don't know, that sounds pretty sketchy there, Nicole.
I mean, unless he offered you like an explanation as to why he stopped talking to you and it wasn't money related, then I mean, that's the only way I would talk to him again, but I feel like that's just kind of a clear sign that it's just weird.
How did you prepare yourself for marriage, whether single or in a relationship, moving towards marriage? They think that it's important to spend time developing skills to be a good wife. So what are kind of some skills or some different things that you feel like you developed to prepare to be a good Christian wife?
Well, I've shared this before, but when I made my like future husband list, I wanted any like quality that I would ask of him. That's not like gender specific, like him being the leader, blah, blah, blah. Like if I wanted him to be a strong Christian, I wanted to be that, and down the list we go. But I think just surrounding myself with godly friends and then godly older women who were wives, who were godly wives that I looked up to and just tried to like emulate just characteristics from them, and obviously just like growing in my own walk with God, but really just getting close to mentors who could answer my questions, you know, honestly, or that I could just try to like mirror them in their marriages, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what I would say. Just look at your community around you. Are the girls or guys around you in the same stage of life as you, is like wanting to grow up, or are they still in the young adult, like not really looking for anything serious type? Because if they are, then chances are like it's gonna be harder for you to find that in that group. Because the groups you hang around just kind of make, like if you had all these immature friends, it would seem hard to believe that Sam was ready for that too, you know?
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're saying basically, you know, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah,
and if you hang out with people that, you know, have those goals that you're looking to achieve, if they have healthy marriages, if they're healthy Christians, you know, surround yourself with people like that so that, you know, it's easier for you to become that way as well.
Yeah. For sure. That's good.
This person says, I know you've given advice on dating, but I have a question. In your perspective, how can you glorify God in a long distance relationship? And they said a long distance relationship.
In a long distance.
But I'm assuming they don't actually mean like a relationship where you're the distance of like a log apart from each other.
That's a good question. If you're new to the channel, we met online. He was in Cleveland, Ohio, and I was in Alabama. For us, we were just really intentional about like FaceTiming, doing Bible studies together. You obviously are more intentional with your time when you're long distance, because you can't just be like, let's go bowling or let's go do whatever. It was just very intentional about us getting to know each other. What do you think? I know this is like asking me questions, but I feel like that's how we did.
Well, I think that in a lot of ways it can be easier in a long distance relationship to honor the Lord, because everything that you do, there's not really like a physical aspect to it as much. So all of the questions and all of the things that me and Sadie talked about were so intentional, because we could not just do a bunch of really fun activities at the same time. Like,
yeah, we didn't meet in person for like 3 months, over 3 months.
Yeah. So it allows a lot of just figuring out who a person really is. So, I would almost say that a long distance relationship can be even more God honoring.
Yeah, I would recommend long distance. We could do a whole video about it if y'all want to see that, but I would recommend long distance. You just have to be disciplined and loyal.
Yeah. How did you pursue God in your time of singleness?
Like with my other question, I hung out with my godly friends, and just tried to get to a place where I enjoyed my singleness a lot. I also got involved at the church I was going to. I was in like the praise band, and then I would do stuff with like the kids. I chaperoned like the youth a couple times. So just getting involved there and just being like more intentional with my walk with God, reading the Bible, every day. I was really disciplined about it back then. I need to be more disciplined about it now. That's something we're both trying to work on. But I had a lot more time to spend with God, and so I was way more diligent about it. So, that's kind of how I did there.
Okay, here's a really good one. So Sadie, before you followed Sam on Instagram, did you trust God completely on him crossing your paths with a godly man? Like before you came across Sam and followed him, were you at a place of surrender?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I think I shared it in our video, but I had stumbled across Sam's channel the night before I actually followed him. I didn't know that he was a night owl because he stayed up till 4 a.m. But I was going to follow him at midnight, and I felt like that was weird. So the next morning I woke up, and then I just woke up and I prayed to God for peace about it. And I did have peace about it. And I just told myself, if he doesn't follow you, oh well. But if he does, oh well. So,
oh well.
I was just really chill about it. And even when we started talking, I was kind of like, he'll probably stop talking to me anyway, which I thought our conversation was going to end, which we've shared that before. But yeah, I was finally at a place of contentment. I was going to join the FBI and be a special agent. I was definitely surrendered to being single, and I thought that I was going to be single because I was going to be fighting crimes.
She was going to be Agent Sadie.
Oh my goodness.
Sadie, do you ever struggle with submitting to Sam? How does that process work for you? Are there any helpful resources, ground rules, or techniques you use that you think other wives might find helpful?
I'm definitely still in the learning process and the humbling process of that. There's a lot of pride that you have to swallow when you're a wife, and when I got married, I didn't realize how hard it would be, because there's a lot of things that I don't care about. You make the decision on, but then there's bigger things of where I would want to live, versus he would want to live or whatever, and that's harder to kind of give up. But that's something I'm just having to learn to give to God, and result of that, give to him. But I also have one of my best friends has been married for over 4 years now, and so she's gone through the process of wow, submitting's hard, to now she just does it and it's a lot easier for her. So she's inspired me a lot, and I can ask her for advice about that, because I know that she's been where I'm at of having a hard time in those first years, and then now being on the other side of I'm just going to trust my husband with it. And even if it's not what I want, I'm just going to give it to him. So maybe I'll make a video about it when I'm really a lot better.
No,
But right now I feel like there's just some stuff that I have pride with, which we all have pride about something in life. We all, desire something, but we as wives have to trust that over to our spouses, which is a lot easier said than done. I thought it was going to be easy, but it's really, really hard. So yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at with it. But yeah.
Well, and I think that it goes both ways too, because as a husband, I'm trying to constantly find, what are the best ways that I can take care of us, take care of our family. I think that her submitting to me, the Bible says that you're supposed to submit, and as a husband, my goal and my priority is to basically honor her, submitting to me. So I'm not going to do a bunch of things to, be selfish. I'm going to make all the decisions that I can to benefit her and to love her and to serve her. So, it can't be that she's just submitting to me and then I'm just doing whatever I want and playing video games and ignoring her and whatever. But
when it comes to the moving thing, there's stuff that he's supposed to do as far as loving me, and I'm supposed to respect his decision. So there's just, when you trust that the other person is loving you well, and then they're trusting that you're trying to respect them well, I think the right decision will be made, and you'll be both closer and more impressed with each other after you do your part.
Yeah.
So
Loaded question, but I like it. So for Sadie, I know it's commonly asked if it's wrong for a girl to ask a guy out, but even if it's okay, should a girl ask a guy out?
I would say the girl shouldn't ask the guy out. I think that you can make yourself available, and I don't mean flirting with him and making it so obvious that you like him. But I think that since once marriage is a factor, the guy is supposed to lead, and then when you're dating, the guy is supposed to lead, and we have the traditional values where the guy's gonna pay, the guy's gonna open the door for you, he's just gonna lead in those ways. So I think that for some guys, if you set a principle of I'll ask you out, really chill, then he may, think that you want to also split the bill, don't want to have the door open for you, or whatever. Does that make sense at all? I think that some guys take it as they don't want to be led just because of the feminist culture now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I think that you don't want to set the precedent, set the standard that you are going to be the one leading in the relationship.
Yeah.
If a guy is not able to make those quick decisions and figure out what he wants quickly, then he's not going to appreciate you, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So with Sadie, I very quickly, told her what my intentions were. I remember on our first FaceTime call, I told her, hey, I'm not just looking at this as you're just my Bible study buddy. I like you. And if a guy can't realize how important you are and how precious you are, that he wants to make sure that that he's interested in you, then maybe he doesn't really realize your value.
Yeah.
So I think that's about going to do it. I don't know why it sounded like that.
That's about going to do it.
I think that's about going to do it.
You've been in Alabama too long.
I have. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, or we hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any kind of other questions or anything you'd like for us to answer, we might just make a whole video about it. So leave that down in the comments below. But if not, just like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for new videos.
A Merry Christmas.
Have a very, very Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful time, that you guys travel safely if you're going to travel. And we cannot tell you guys how appreciative we are of y'all and just all of the love and support that we've had in this year. It's so hard to believe that not even a year ago we started this channel and we're now well over 11,000 subscribers. That just
crazy.
Completely blows my mind, and we can't wait to continue on this journey with you guys. We want to be more active, want to be more involved with you guys, and we just can't wait for the next year. But anyway, we love every single one of you, and we will see you guys in the next video.
See you next week.
Bye.